What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today I have a special guest on the channel. Okay, this is a private training I did for my coaching program students, and I invited my good friend CreatorKarro to the training to talk about Instagram, to talk about growth, how he grew his personal brand. And when we were filming this, all right, he had 163,000 followers. Today he has over 500,000 followers. Yes, you heard that right. I'll leave his Instagram down below. I'll leave his YouTube channel down below. He's a great content creator. The great thing about the training is, yes, it's over a year old, but guess what? He used the same exact frameworks he was talking about a year ago to go from 163,000 followers to 511,000 followers. And I just messaged him, said, do you give me a green flag to post this? Because this is kind of private. He was like, yeah, totally. Why not? Go ahead and do it. And I'm super excited to release this. I know this is super valuable. Around 50 minutes of us talking back and forth. A lot of questions were thrown at him. He answered everything. It was a great coaching call. Like I said, it's a bit older, but every single piece of advice still applies to this day, today. All the stuff we talked about still works today. So check out this training, bookmark this, like this, leave a comment, do whatever you need to do. Check out his Instagram, check out his YouTube channel after the training. He's the man, and I'm excited for this training. So let's hop straight into it. So happy to have you here today. I prepared a few questions. So again, guys, definitely in the chat, I left his Instagram, so go check it out while he's talking, because definitely you need to see what this guy is doing. And I prepared a few like light questions, and you can expand on everything you want yourself. Like
Sure.
I'm we're open hearing anything you have to say, and anything you have to share, right? So
Sure.
the first thing I wanted to know is just like, how much time did it take you to grow this profile you have? And can you just share your story, like from zero to the following you have today?
Sure.
163,000 followers.
Yeah, Instagram is like it's not fair sometimes, right? Your Instagram page could just be on the downswing, even if you're uploading every single day, right? And that's exactly what's been happening with me for the all 2022, kinda. But I think the problem I was constantly making content for myself, trying to make what I want, not trying to think of what actually people want to see at the particular moment, what is working. And that was the problem. As soon as I stopped doing that, as soon as I started focusing more on making content for other people, seeing what's working for others, trying to remake that. One video, I just so what happened? I decided at December 2022, I decided to start posting every single day and just try this strategy. And the seventh or fifth video actually picked up and just went viral. And by now, this video has like 5 million views, and just like took my channel and took my page to the next level. And after that, when I posted, every single video is being pushed much more because now I have an audience, right? So, so yeah, that's what happened. There's some luck involved, 100%, but I would say the biggest thing that led to all of this just analyzing other people and seeing what's worked for them and trying to remake the same content.
I love this. I love this because I always say, in this community, like, analyze what's going on,
Yeah.
test all the time, and keep it consistent. I remember us actually talking like in December probably, or
Yeah.
or a
December
bit.
1st was, yeah, it was December 1st. And I told you that I'm going to be posting for the rest of the month, right?
Yeah. You told me, and
Yeah.
then like maybe a few days passed, and you were like, check out my content. I feel like I'm posting good content. Like, what's the problem? Why I'm not growing? You're
Yeah.
the Instagram guru. Can you tell me? I'm like, I looked at your page and I saw amazing content, and I was like, you know what? You can only control the volume of content you
Yeah.
put out. So just keep posting now, and you'll see good results. And actually, that
Yeah.
happened.
And exactly. And right now, some videos flop, right? But some videos do good as well. So I feel like now I'm just much more in control on my emotions, where I post and something doesn't go that well, I don't really care. Especially with Instagram, because the algorithm is so different, where you can have a video flop and then the next day your video does really well. So
Yeah.
it's not really dependent on your audience, because majority of your content is not going to be seen by your followers. It's going to be seen by completely strangers and random people from the feed most of
Yeah,
the time.
that's most of the time. And I remember you were probably at like 10 to 20K followers for a long, long time, like on
Yeah,
your
for like a
profile.
year.
Yeah,
Yeah,
for like a year, and you didn't really grow. I mean, you weren't really trying to grow,
yeah,
but you were at like 10, 20K, and you had this profile
yeah,
for a long time, and like out
yeah,
of nowhere, you just started posting good content and it just boomed. So it doesn't need to
yeah.
be a new profile, you didn't create a new
No, no,
profile, which you
no.
were thinking about at first. I remember you were
Yeah,
like, this
yeah,
should I start a new page? And I'm like, maybe, but then your video blew up and I'm like, yeah, just
yeah.
keep going with that.
That's. If you go to my social blade, you can see that I was declining, losing followers every single day whole for the whole year, pretty much. And sometimes even when you grow to the big number, you can start losing followers. I know a lot of people in my space, like in my niche, create similar content. I see them losing followers, but then they start posting more consistently, improving, iterating the content, and they start gaining followers again. So it's constant improvement as well. You can't just go over and keep posting the same type of content. And on that note, I'm going to show you something really cool that you can apply as well. Maybe later on, I don't know.
All right. Yeah, that sounds great. So
Yeah.
always keep improving, right? Always.
Yeah. So that thing that I wanted to say, that sometimes some pieces of content could be rewritten in different type of ways. So where I have now, a recent video went semi-viral for me. And I taken this piece of content for somebody else who was talking about this topic, and I just remade the video where I just not talk about it, but I put it in these visuals. The same concept. It's about the best investments you can make in your 20s. And I'm not talking in the video. I'm just giving the text and visuals. It's the same concept. It's just given in different type of way. It's kind of like
Yeah.
you take a book and you turn it into a movie, right?
Yeah,
Something like that.
exactly.
So, and there's limitless content like that. There's no new content like topics. Just remake
Yeah.
them in different type of way, right? Kind of.
Yeah, like essentially everyone is repurposing content.
Yeah,
And I
yeah,
mean, at this stage, like if anyone starts a personal brand, like the best advice you can tell them is like, oh, just use what's already working and remake the content that's
100%.
going viral. So like
100%.
social media is basically like all repurposed, like media in general. Like
Yeah, not
I
only social
remember
media.
I,
Yeah,
I was promoting Morning Brew for like almost a year. And like literally what they were doing is, reading all these outlets like the New York Times, Bloomberg, like the biggest
yeah,
media outlets, they would read the news and then compress it into like one email and send it out. And they're like a
yeah,
100 million a year company, $100 million a year company, by just also repurposing content like
yeah.
a page into an email, right? So
So what I'm seeing as well, I'm putting the same story in different way, which works for me, where I give my course for free. I have a free course, just like a lead magnet, right? And I getting countless of new people messaging me, even though I've been putting the same story for a month. So that means some people just don't message you that first time, or some people are just like, it's
oh
it's
yeah,
always, yeah, you're just repurposing the same thing. If something worked for you, you can essentially make the same content like 100 times, just with different hook and different like
yeah,
structure kind of
different
thing.
twist on it, and like do it until it stops working.
Yeah,
Yeah.
100%. If you're treating this like a business, right? If you're not too concerned about your art and stuff. And businesses most of the time is just like really boring work. Like when you see people like Logan Paul and all these big people on social media, most of the time they're doing like such a boring work. They're just analyzing this specific minute of the clip, or it's like really boring work most of the time.
Oh yeah, it is. It is.
Yeah,
It's not, like rainbows and sunshines all the time.
yeah,
Like we kind of want to, show that on social media,
yeah,
but like if you really dig deep into business, it's just like numbers and you put up a story generated leads. Okay, let's put up the same thing.
yeah,
It generated
yeah,
leads again. Let's do it again.
yeah.
Let's
Let's
change
try improve
something.
this a little bit. Let's add
Yeah,
this. It's
exactly.
like
So
pushing the same button until it stops working.
yeah, exactly. Exactly. That's a great way to put it. Yeah, that's amazing. So
Yeah,
we have one question, right? We talked
sure.
about, basically copying everyone and repurposing content.
Hmm.
And someone asked, so who sets the trends in social media?
Hmm. I would argue that a consumer actually sets the trends. Uh,
I
like,
agree.
yeah,
I
and
mean,
the butterfly effect already happened. So you would just need to go back to I don't know to 2012 where it all started because it's already happened. It's just after that it's just been repurposing stuff, right? I'm not talking about the trends that happen once a year, like like a tab was a trend back in the day,
yeah.
right? Something like that. Not talking about these trends, talking about specific topics which are mostly occur in three main markets, right? In those big three markets. So it's always the same things most of the time. The same topics go around like about fitness. If you go to the fitness page, it's been talked multiple times. Majority of people know what they need to do to get in shape, but they still listen to fitness gurus and fitness guys, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think like a lot of people know what they need to do to make money,
Yeah,
it's like
exactly.
they just need someone to show them exactly and keep them accountable. It's not the information. Like you can literally read a book about like
Yeah,
SEO and start providing SEO services. It's been working 20 years ago, and then you
yeah.
can still to this day create an SEO agency, like simple stuff like that.
And
Yeah.
to go back to that question, like if you actually think about setting trends, I don't really like this concept as well because you're looking at it like a lottery almost. Because yes, for sure you can hit with something unique, but it's so rare. Like it's really rare.
Yeah.
You most likely won't. And something unique can happen after you did something that has been done, and then you develop your own kind of niche. Um, if you look at some people that you follow, they are not really doing something that unique, but they have different combination of different things that make them unique.
Yeah. I totally agree. Like
Like
the
Alex Hermosi, for example, he doesn't really talk that much crazy, unique stuff, unique things. Doesn't say nothing new, but the way he says it, his backstory makes him unique in that
yeah,
way.
and like he's unique because you would never think you would take advice from a jack dude who's sitting
Yeah,
like with Crocs in his,
yeah,
apartment, just chilling and talking
yeah,
about business. And he just like is just a unique human being. If
yeah,
Alex
exactly.
Hormozy would be like with a slick back, with a suit, like
Yeah,
in a very professional like studio, you would think like, no, what is this guy? I've seen these type of people like all over the internet, and he's just a
yeah.
jack dude with a flannel,
Yeah,
sitting
and if you have a
like
look at his content, it's all over the same content.
yeah,
Like pretty much, he has the core message he's bringing, and his content is just like literally that core message. Um, it's almost the same one. If you look at his podcast, his interviews, he talks about the same stuff all the time, almost all the time.
yeah, yeah. So basically, to answer the question, there's no new content. It's like
Yeah,
no one sets the trends. It's just some people bring back something from the past, put it today, and people are like, "Whoa, that's cool. I like that."
yeah,
And then everyone starts doing the same thing, and at that point, that works. Like, and it's with everything, probably like with
yeah.
style and fashion, same thing, right? So
And for you guys, I don't know if you're trying to build a personal brand here mostly or a team page.
theme page,
Just yeah, just in that like anyway, if personal brand or team page just follow the proven process that is working for others, and always, I'm not saying just copy, right? Always improve something. but keep in mind not to try to completely do something unique because the growth is going to be slower. And when you're growing, you can start experimenting with different type of stuff. I believe so.
Yeah, I say, copy it, but improve it by 1%,
Yeah, yeah,
and put your own twist on it. Yeah.
100%.
We'll do a Q&A session after all the questions when we go through that. So hang on, Joshua. We'll come back to that. So right now, I want to ask you, Carlos, how you monetize your audience now, and how's it going?
Yeah, it's going pretty well. I actually sell like a content creation course where I got a lot of people asking me how I create my own content. So I teach pretty much inside that course how I edit my videos, how I grow my page, how I monetize my page with brand deals, how people can get brand deals. So that's a second stream, pretty decent one. By the way, this one was from the brand deal as well, a Gainful. So working with a couple of brands, posting videos for them on a monthly basis. And the third, a really, really big one is that I get other brands and other influencers to make content for them. So that's something where I trade my time for the money, but it's pretty good. And I'm slowly automating and putting team in place to deliver that service. So like any agency or something like that. So those are three main ones. Obviously, I have YouTube, but that's off the topic. So the
Yeah.
ad revenue on YouTube, it's completely different stream. But Instagram brings me those clients. Instagram brings me those people that buy my course and the brand deals, right?
Yeah.
That's pretty much
Yeah.
it.
So a course, brand deals, and an agency, right?
Yeah,
All
the
right.
biggest three. Yeah.
That's really cool. So
And kind of and it's kind of centered around one thing because with my agency I sell my time where I do the thing that I teach in my course how to do pretty much. I teach
okay,
people how to so my course is essentially like how to create content, how to grow an Instagram page, like a personal brand mostly, and how to get brand deals as well, and how to land those brand deals.
nice. All right. So it all like you're kind of teaching what you're doing, right?
Yeah,
So
kind
that's
of,
great.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
I'm
amazing.
selling my time and I'm productizing myself at the same time.
That's really
So
cool. You're
yeah,
using leverage. That's great. And how do you get these amazing brand deals? Like you've landed a few I've seen, and
yeah.
they're really cool. So how did that happen? They just message you on Instagram or what?
No,
All
no,
right.
no, no. I provide like I do have a short script that I write to people, and I found these brands, and I just wrote them an email, just showing how I do. Essentially, what I did is I made a first video myself with one brand where I just essentially pretended that it's a brand deal and
Yeah.
just tagged them. I didn't set it as a brand deal. I just tagged them because I used the product. And then I just started sending that as a leverage tool for those brands saying, look, I can make something like that for you. And yeah, that's how I got my foot in the door. And that's what I love to do always. If you want to get your foot in the door, do something for free, right? And that's much easier than to try and ask for something right away. Doesn't matter if you have following or not. I mean, it's always better to get your foot in the door doing something for free at first. I believe so.
That's really cool. I'm actually writing it down. So free brand promo, that's how you got your
Yeah,
brand deals. So basically
yeah,
you just took a product you had in your household, you
yeah,
made like kind of a video around that product. Didn't say it's paid
yeah,
collaboration because it wasn't. You just made a video
yeah,
about it. You tagged the brand and then you're like, hey guys, I made this cool video about this
yeah,
product.
yeah, yeah.
It could be your product.
Then yeah, and then the brands think that you're more legit because you work with somebody already. They like the video and they're just like it's a totally no brainer for them. I feel like that's the same thing with my course. I launched it, the digital product, the course for free. And just gave to people for free. And then I started there's a demand for it at first, and then I created a paid version. So I believe it's better. Obviously you don't need to do it that way, but I feel like it's better. It's easier to get your foot in the door. People love free stuff.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. Yeah, and with the brand deal, it's kind of like a domino effect, right? Because
Yeah,
like
100%.
if you worked with five brands, like the sixth one you email, they'll be like, oh, all right, this guy
Yeah.
works with a lot of people. That's cool. All right, that
Yeah,
makes a
dude,
lot of
like
sense.
it's leverage, right? I'm getting so many DMs from people saying that they can do this and that for me, but the problem is that you create no leverage with these types of messages. You have nothing. You don't have leverage. You just watch some YouTube videos, copy the script, and just start DMing people.
All right.
Everybody's doing that. You have no leverage, right?
Yeah, that's very true. So with everything you said, I assume you think like Instagram is a really good platform and you're putting not all your eggs in one basket, but you're focusing on Instagram mostly, and you feel
Yeah,
like that's
I
the
would say
money
that.
maker for you.
Yeah, I mean, Instagram has been the longest one where I invested the most amount of my time, as well as with, yeah, like mostly Instagram, because I see it as an engine to grow your other platforms as well. And it's a really cool engine for networking and like amazing to sell products as well. So, yeah, 100%. You know, with TikTok, I don't know what's happening with that. I'm reposting the same content there, but it's getting no views almost. So it's crazy.
Yeah, it's
But
probably
I'm not,
because you have like a Lithuanian SIM card.
maybe. Yeah, it's stupid. I don't know why to do
Yeah,
that. I just deleted
because
it.
it was the same thing with me. I had a Lithuanian SIM card and it never worked. Like
Yeah,
never did.
I
Yeah.
just deleted. I don't really need that distraction
Yeah.
anymore.
And also like what I hear even from people who have millions of followers on TikTok, they're like, I'm sending all my traffic to Instagram anyways, because that's where
Yeah,
people are
yeah.
ready to pay, and that's where real consumers are, On TikTok, not many people are willing to pay, even
Oh
for the same
no,
thing.
no. And
Yeah.
there's no DMs feature as well. Like
Yeah.
nobody's using that DM stupid feature on TikTok.
Yeah. Yeah. No one DMs, like, I never got a DM on TikTok.
No, 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 no,
You,
no
you
way.
don't do that. That's
Yeah, you
illegal,
just get stupid comments most of the time.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Um, all
Mm.
right. So I talk about this a lot, in the group. The first thing like you should do when you start growing an audience is at least start collecting emails, right?
Yeah.
So I'm curious, do you collect emails? If yes, how do you collect them and how's it going?
Yeah. So what 100% I do. And it's a free course that I do have as a
All
lead
right.
magnet, as I said. So yeah, I've collected thousands of emails since I launched it. So it's
That's cool.
crazy. And I believe the best way to collect emails to figure out what your audience really wants and give that version of that thing at least for free somehow. Um, because if you give something for free but they don't really want it, you're not gonna collect that many emails. So think about what the audience truly wants and just give something away for free and get an email. I
Yeah.
believe it's really valuable. 100% like emails is 100% need like
And
good
how's
thing.
it going with it? Like, do you see people convert through email?
Yeah. I have about around 10,000 emails now, and I'm not sending I don't know, like honestly, I'm not really good at email marketing, but I'm still converting some people through email over time, 100%.
That's really cool. All right. Yeah, because like an email is an asset, right?
Yeah,
It,
yeah.
it can pay you like monthly. Like a good email list will pay you month by month all the
Yeah,
time.
are you treating your email as like a newsletter or more so like I don't know, because I feel like there's different ways to treat your email, right?
Oh yeah, there is. Yeah, totally.
So how do you do it yourself?
Usually I'm more like on the salesy side of
Yeah,
the email. I read your emails and it's more like a newsletter type of email, probably,
yeah.
right? And for
Maybe a
me,
little bit. Yeah. I'm trying to go that route because
yeah,
I feel like, yeah, I feel like it creates more connection and then you can sell. But I don't know. I'm using a really bad platform for emails, so I need to change the whole thing.
all right,
It's
got
always
it.
a mess. It's always a mess with online business.
Yeah, yeah. Emails are like you have to have good softwares for your business to run smooth.
Yeah, I'm
Um,
thinking to go to Substack. I don't know if you know.
oh yeah, yeah, yeah. You use Substack?
No, I'm thinking to go there
Oh,
right now.
I've
Is it
heard of
good?
it. It's good, yeah. I mean,
All
I've
right.
used ConvertKit. It's just that it's mad expensive compared to like other options you have.
Yeah.
And right now I have Go High Level, which is a
Oh,
CRM. Yeah,
I heard that. Yeah, it's too difficult for me to understand what is going on. I
it's
logged in,
really
I don't
hard.
know what's going on. It cancel my trial.
Yeah, it's very hard to understand what's going on with them.
All
All
right.
right, so could you run me through actually like I know your course is all about it, but I would love you to go through like very simply and lightly how do you actually create this amazing aesthetic content like from
Yeah.
zero to actually like posting? Like where do you get the idea, right? And how do you
Yeah.
film yourself? How do you edit? Maybe where do you edit? And then when you post, like do you have certain strategies for that?
Yeah, sure. So I feel like I've been doing this for quite a while, so now I have some pretty good idea. But the most important thing is to have good lighting. I feel like the good lighting. If you have iPhone 11 and up, it's more than enough for you to get good content, like good footage. Let me see if I have my phone here. Oh yeah. And one thing is that you want. What I do is I put down the exposure when I film, right here on the camera. So you just
Yeah.
put out a little bit down, you get a better exposure, more dark vibes. And when I film some objects, I when I move my phone, I don't move it with my hands, kind of like move my
Mm. Yeah.
corpse, like right. And in that way, you're gonna get smooth looking footage, like kind of like stabilized footage. Also, I use like stabilize effect on the Premiere Pro. And most importantly, what I do before I even do all of this, I found an idea on Instagram that I want to recreate. I put it on my Premiere Pro. I cut exactly the same places that the video cuts for that original creator. So I know it's like a puzzle. I know I need to fill up all these puzzles with my own footage,
All right.
right? And that's the best way to learn, I feel like. That's the
Okay.
best way to learn. Actually taking something that is working for other people and just putting your own pieces in place. Because if you try to make everything yourself from the get-go, you're just gonna get lost.
Yeah.
And in that way, you're always in the flow state. You're always learning. And that's how I create it. And then I try to remake the color grading similar. Um, and yeah, that's how I done it. I mean, I made 200 videos like that probably by now. So, now I don't really need to do it that way. But when I started, that's how I started.
Yeah.
That makes
And probably
sense.
like when everyone's in the Zoom call checked out your profile, they definitely thought you're using like a DSLR camera for like
Yeah.
$3,000. No, it's
Nah.
just like exposure down on the iPhone, just
Yeah.
stabilize your, hands.
Yeah. Use some
And
color grading on Adobe
yeah,
and yeah. Make
pretty
sure you're
much.
using good lighting because if you're gonna film against the light, always gonna have blurry, like bad lighting. So make sure you just have good lighting. That's a secret. Even if you have the best iPhone, if and you film like that, it's still gonna look like shit. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. Probably better to, have the light behind the
yeah, go
camera. Yeah.
100%. Don't film against it. Film
Yeah.
it with the light.
Okay. So I have two more questions,
Sure.
um, which are a bit more general, right? So do you see creators market in general growing?
Yeah. I mean, of course, there's no other way around it. It's impossible for it to start decreasing. I mean, it's impossible. The consumers are there. The creators market's already been created pretty well. And also when you think about it, there's so much different way. There's so much different things you can learn from different people now. That is crazy. You never could have learned in your lifetime how to make I don't know, like a car detailing business. There's no school for that, right? This is what Alex Ramosi says as well. Right now, there's specifically that influencer teaches people how to make car detailing business in that specific area or something. So there's so many different kind of like niches and sub niches that is just must grow. There's no other way around it because there's demand for it. And the
Yeah.
demand is just gonna be there because people are like not really happy with traditional education, I feel like. So the demand is going to be there if you're going to be value creator, because there is difference, right? I feel like there's always going to be space for entertainment creators, but I feel like value creators, especially, they're just going to dominate. And if you look at the trends are shifting a little bit, where before it was usually like fancy like webinars and all this kind of stuff for creators. Now it's a little bit different. Like value creators, more authentic people, like actually giving value. If you can do that, definitely gonna have a really good career in this.
I've seen this a lot because like if you go back like 5 years ago, like all you would get online for free would probably be like a shitty ebook, you know. And right
Yeah,
now, people are actually sharing like super valuable YouTube videos, free
yeah,
courses, just to get your email, of course, and so you upgrade, to their program. But you know what? They're actually giving out like as much value as possible. And that
100%.
leads me to, another question is like, is it easy or hard to convert today's consumer?
Well, I don't have a like comparison because 5 years ago I wasn't really selling
Yeah.
the things that I'm selling right now. I was kind of like a newbie, so I'm sure it's harder right now.
Yeah, I
Um,
agree.
yeah, it must be because I mean, consumers get smarter and smarter. Depends on your market, of course. If you sell something new, kind of like a new thing, but I guess if you're in a fitness space and try to convert somebody for the diet plan that's been old and it's been done, and you're not adding anything spicy, kind of like eat whatever you want and get lean. If you're not saying that,
Yeah.
it's going to be harder for you to convert those people because people get used to that. But you're always going to find your crowd. Feel like you don't really need to think about converting as much people as possible. If you can put out a good product, eventually, and market it day by day, eventually gonna find your crowd and people gonna, as you know, if you can make a good product, the word of mouth is really strong thing. So yeah,
Yeah, I feel like that's actually why the market is shifting from providing as much value as possible, because the word of mouth is so powerful, right?
yeah,
We want that because it's so, the price to attract the consumer is so much higher than it used to be. So right
yeah,
now, like the best way to grow a business is word by mouth, right?
yeah,
Just
and,
like,
and free content and
yeah,
free
free
organic
content.
content.
Yeah, because like you
Yeah,
don't want to spend $1 million a year on Facebook ads
no,
and get like 2x return on ad spend. Like that doesn't sound fun to me.
no. So
You
for
know?
all of you that are here, keep in mind that even if you're not gonna be doing your team page or your personal brand on Instagram later on, you're gonna learn this valuable skill of content creation. And this is a skill in itself, how to create content that actually brings attention and converts. If you can learn only this one, it's gonna flow into everything else what you're doing online because it's gonna be like an engine for everything else. I don't see actually the people I follow don't really run ads anymore. Like Alex Ramosi, again, as I said, he invests all the money in the content production instead of running ads because content compounds over time. If you think about it, it just compounds. Uh, the more you put it, the more you have content running around. The media just compounds over time.
Yeah.
So I just see a massive, massive bonus if you can do that.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, just as an example, I think everyone's on the call here have followed passionate income like right before they were even, here. So it just
Yeah,
like, and I've been doing it for 2.5 years. So it just
yeah,
shows like the content compounds, right? You don't need
yeah,
ads or anything like that. Just focus on content which brings you the following and like actual real people. And that's like the skill you're gonna learn anyways. If you
yeah.
decide to go another route after like 3 years and you're like, I don't want to do, Instagram theme pages, you'll have the skill, and you
100%.
can apply
If
it anywhere.
if you look at all the greatest online entrepreneurs, they have one really strong skill they built. through the start. And then every single project they're building is based around that skill. Pretty much most of the time. Like if you look at Alex Becker, he really got good at SEO, as he said. And then after that, like he started even like SEO, like SaaS businesses. And then after that, he grew his companies only through SEO. So, I mean, the skill is gonna have you like it's gonna help you throughout your journey. So develop the skill of content creation 100%.
Yeah, and it's one of the hottest things, I think, right now in today's
Yeah,
market.
because it's so hard to get like short form content is so hard to make it the way that it catches people attention as fast as possible. If you can nail that, you're just gonna like go viral pretty
Yeah,
easily.
yeah, completely agree. So we have a few questions. Um,
Sure.
so Joshua, I'd love you to, do you remember your question?
Yeah, I wrote it down.
Okay.
This is the benefit of having whiteboards all around me.
All right.
So
I love him.
with BizExchange, the intent is that I'm going to um, advertise products, do shout out work and stuff like that. But at some point, I'm going to be pivoting so that way I'm selling a specific product that is mine that I'm developing right now. I was wondering what you would have to say about whether or not you had to pivot the direction of your business and what your thoughts on that were. And also later, if you don't mind, I've learned a lot in tattooing about how to take high quality photos with really, really good lighting. I could give everybody some tips on that.
Right.
Sure.
That's amazing.
Is that a question for me?
Yeah, the question was for you,
Yeah.
or artist as well, if he wanted to speak on it. But
Sure.
Yeah,
So for
Carlos,
me,
go on.
this is really familiar for me because the pivoting thing I've done like probably 3 pivots. But when you say pivot, you have a tattoo page.
I do have a tattoo page, but I also have one called BizExchange, and I'm developing a small cap private equity product that I'm going to be like having remote closers and brand pages and people essentially selling for me, and then I'm just going to like develop that product itself. Like I'm in real estate school right now. So that way I can get all the certifications to actually develop my own private equity product.
Nice. It's like a SaaS product?
No, not a SaaS product, an investment medium. So right now, middle market investments are, to get in, you have to have somewhere around $1 million, $2 million, $5 million to get into the middle market investment for brokerages. But for what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to democratize that and shrink the product down so that way people with $1,000 or $5,000 could invest inside of this space. And then we're essentially going to use those funds to purchase businesses and revamp them, outfit them with artificial intelligence to streamline their processes, make them more efficient, and then essentially give the revenue that's generated from that to the people who've invested.
All right.
So that's the product that I'm going to be pivoting to, right? But up until then, I intend on doing like shout outs and like how you're talking about how you got brand deals, running it as though it's an agency. So you're helping people learn how to build personal pages and things along those lines.
Yeah. So what is the question actually? Like, do you think it's a good idea for you to right now do something else and then pivot to this private equity thing?
Yeah, my question was like, what do you think about how to go about pivoting so that way you're not interrupting the I guess the appreciation for your page that your followers have, because they follow you for a reason, right? And like it seems like I don't want it to be abrupt. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So when it comes down to our tattoo page, you definitely can't just go and start posting fitness content, right? That would be a major pivot. But if we can make a slide pivots, I feel like it's a good idea and it's actually like a smart idea because Otherwise, you can't really. You're gonna like start plateauing anyways if you stay in just one place.
Mhm.
So slight pivots to if you have some sort of niche right now where this private equity fund is going to be promoted, which is
Mhm.
kind of related to that thing. I feel like no.
Yeah,
If
it's
it,
business wealth and motivation. So, or leadership
yeah,
wealth and motivation. So,
so it's
that's
totally
where,
fine. It's totally
right.
related, right? So it's like if you look at Millionaire Mentor, this guy, he's like literally crushing it. Different offers and different things. He has his own like I don't know, like it has probably 9 different offers or something, and it's growing just fine.
Mhm.
Because he's going broader and broader. So I feel like it's totally fine. If you're not completely switching to different industry, but it's kind of related things. So
Right.
it's totally fine.
Yeah, I completely agree. Yeah. We have another one from Tristan. He said,
Tristan Tate. No, I'm joking.
he said,
Yeah, it's me.
can you further explain the agency stream? What exactly do you do and how much do they pay? Since that
Sure.
is your biggest stream.
Sure. So if you look at people like Alan Stain, this guy like basketball coach, and I pretty much work with people like that. I have them on my website. Um, Even if you go to my website and click portfolio, you're gonna see the videos I make for them, so you kind of have an idea. Uh,
You can actually share your screen, Carlos.
1 minute.
One. So we can record that for people who are
Sure.
watching the recording.
You see now?
Yep.
Yeah. So, for example, this video. So these videos. So I take his long form content from YouTube most of the time, and I turn in these type of videos, these shorts. And I have 2 people that help me with this, video editors, but I do edit some videos myself still. And I also have run out a new service where have you seen these black and white animated videos go over?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's what I do as well, where I turn people's small scripts into these black and white animated videos. But that's a little bit more advanced. So that's kind of like my agency, mostly what we do, the content creation and the charge, of course, per monthly basis. So if you're curious about what you could charge for this guy, 30 videos per month, these short form videos, $1,200 per month.
All right.
So 30 videos, yeah, but you take care of all of it, like find the video idea from his YouTube channel and kind of like make it. And as well, I have some one-off deals with brands where I shoot content for them, make it for them, and send that in like batch, not post it on my own page, but I make it the content for them.
Yeah. And on this note, Iwan asked, what's the name of the software you're using for those like black animated
Oh,
ones?
yeah, Adobe After Effects.
Adobe After Effects. And that's probably like
Yeah,
hard to do.
that's the one thing that you need.
Yeah. All right. But it's not as easy as it looks, right? It's like you
No,
have
no,
to
no.
be good
You can it
at
can take you
design.
one. Yeah, it can take up to 2 to 3 hours to make one animation that takes that is 30 seconds long, right?
All right. Yeah, because I've heard like crazy prices on those black and white videos.
Yeah,
If you add
yeah,
like a voiceover and cool editing and
yeah,
stuff, like they can charge you like $1,000 a video or something like that.
yeah. That's a little bit more extreme, but yeah, it's a big charge.
All right, got it. Jay asked, when it comes to having an email list, should you provide newsletters on a daily basis or once in a while?
Well, I see a lot of people do it once a week, most of the time. So I'm not really an expert on this,
I
honestly.
would say twice a week, once a week is enough. Like daily is kind of extreme. You
Yeah,
can set up a daily, workflow where basically like they sign up for your email list and they get like 30 emails for the next 30 days automatically. You can do that. But when it comes to like broadcasting your emails, basically you can just do that like once a week or twice, and that's good enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A long like newsletter, right?
Yeah. I feel like that's enough to nurture them, as long as they have come to you like on their own, right? You haven't
Yeah.
purchased the list or anything like that. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
If
It's
they're
illegal, by
familiar
the way,
with
I think.
you, then they will read. All right, guys. Any more questions? You can put one in the chat and we can talk. Tristan, what's up?
Yeah, yeah. First of all, hey, Carolus,
What's
thanks
up?
for
What's up?
talking to us today. I
No
was looking through
worries.
your profile, by the way, very cool page, very nice aesthetic. And Arnis already asked you about how, like, your story, and I saw that a while back you posted also about very different topics, for example,
Yeah.
e-commerce, like dropshipping and agency. So did you have some success in some other business before you started the whole IG game, or did you try
Yeah,
everything?
yeah.
And
I've been running this agency that I have now before I grew on Instagram. So that was my first successful kind of like business and the longest one. Right.
so what made you start the, I'm just curious, what made you start the like Instagram page? Did you want to build a
Sure.
personal brand or?
Yeah, so when I was working with all these different personal brands, I was growing them and I saw the success that I'm making them, right? So I thought I'm just gonna try to apply the similar principles to my own page and see if I can actually grow myself. So that's kind of what I did. And I also wanted as well to grow my personal brand just because of the leverage it gives you to like start selling products as well and to have more time freedom and just scalable more scalable business because agency as well as could be scaled but then it requires for you to hire a lot of people and I rather have few people but more scalable business.
That's
that
amazing.
Awesome.
that makes
Awesome.
sense.
Thanks. And maybe another question, since you also have this agency, but you're also an expert in content creation.
Yeah.
Why did you decide to make your course about IG content creation and not about the agency business? How did you decide that?
Oh, yeah. So I give people a bonus about an agency business, like how they can start their own similar agency. But you see, I don't want to like how do I say it? I only expert in this type of agency where it's a different agency. Like
Okay.
people,
It's about
yeah,
content.
it's about content, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And people are not everybody wants to start this type of agency. And I feel like agency courses are such a saturated market that I just don't want to get into it. It's got a bad rep as well. It just like shows people like fast success, I feel like most of the time. Promises people fast success. And I just didn't want to get into industry. By the way, like there's such a big players in there already. So I just didn't want to make
Got
the
you.
course around it. But
Got
I
you. Thanks.
give people a module about how they can get clients specifically, right?
Yeah, that's
Awesome.
amazing.
Thanks.
Yeah, but mainly you show how to actually create this kind of content, right? Like
Yeah,
from
that's the
zero
main
to,
thing.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's amazing.
And also don't have a like giant agency. That's the reason I didn't create a course around it. Just well.
Yeah, yeah. Sometimes like with an agency, there's a breaking point where it's not worth scaling, right? Like if you
Yeah.
scale to like 10K a month, that's like the sweet spot. I've heard
Yeah.
I've heard
Yeah.
people who have like big agencies behind closed doors, they have told me like, look, like I had an agency on my own making 15K a month, right?
Yeah.
And we were doing like 20K revenue and it was 15K profit. Then I scaled to like $50,000 a month with an agency, and my profit was like 18K a month,
Yeah.
and they were like, it's not even worth the hassle. I'm just gonna run it on my own. So I completely understand why you're not really scaling and focusing on the agency that much. You're growing it, but like not to the point where the profit margins just
At this point,
not
I'm
there.
only working with clients that I got from the past and from the referrals. The only rewarding thing with an agency model is you actually did a good work. People gonna stick with you for the long time. So I just don't want to remove completely that source of an income because it's a good source of income. And
Yeah.
also one thing, I constantly log into the Discord where I have a chat with my clients. I told one client to not change a YouTube title and YouTube description where we like run his YouTube channel, and he did. And then he's complaining that YouTube videos doesn't perform that well. But I told you to never change titles and descriptions. People do stupid stuff. So if your business solely relies on people, there's going to be a lot of error. But when you have like a digital product or some sort of like a thing that is more scalable, it's completely different game, right?
Yeah. Yeah, because sometimes like if you run an agency, people are like, well, I paid you money, like now you need to do the work.
Yeah,
With something like a course, people are more like, all right, like I'm ready to learn. That's why I pay you. And I expect you to like kind of hold my hand through the process, but I don't expect you to basically do all the work for
yeah,
me. So probably it's
yeah,
the
and
expectations. Yeah.
it also creates a feedback loop because the more students you have, the better the course becomes.
Oh
But
yeah.
with agency, it's completely reversed. The more clients you have, the worse your service becomes if you're delivering it yourself, because the less time you're gonna have to deliver it. So it's a reverse feedback loop.
I see. That's a great way to put it. I never thought about it actually.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because the more students you have, the better feedback you're gonna get on the course, the better you're gonna make it, and the better you're gonna make it, the more students you're gonna have.
Yeah. Yeah, that's so true. That's so true. Well, I don't know if anyone has any more questions. If you do, let us know. But if not, we're gonna wrap up. Thanks for watching the training, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. All right, check out Karro's Instagram and everything he has going. He scaled his business so quickly. From the time we talked, in a matter of a year, I think he did around $500,000. Okay, so it's been more than a year, right? Around 15 months. So in that time, he made like $500,000. So definitely check him out. He's a good friend of mine, okay? I trust him. He's doing amazing. So if you liked the training, leave a like, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment. Shoot me a message on my Instagram. Ask me some questions. Let's have a conversation. See how that goes. All right, see you in the next